Welcome back to AT News. This week we are at the Center for Technology, Innovation and Manufacturing building on the campus of Vincennes University for our Dubois County Humane Society report. And the reason we are here is because, as you all know, is what's been going on with the avian influenza issues going on in Dubois County. We thought we would kind of shift gears a little bit this week, folks, and talk to a couple of special people as far as the effects that has been taking locally, and as far as also how it can affect you with your domestic pets and whatnot, and maybe not so much as that. But this week, Koren Custer with the United States Department of Agriculture is with us, along with Denise Derrer with the State Department of Animal Health. And Denise, let's go ahead and start with you and just kind of talk about some of the issues that have kind of faced this week, especially from the standpoint of how it may affect birds, animals, and whatnot.
Well, we've identified avian influenza on commercial turkey sites, and so we haven't found any in any of the backyard flocks, but we are out there wanting to find out that if residents own their own poultry, to make sure that they are disease-free as well. So you may encounter folks coming in the community, they're trying to go door to door to identify any flocks that may be out there. We want to make sure they're healthy and disease-free, and we're offering free testing for influenza to make sure those birds are safe. And
as far as what are some of the steps that have been taken thus far, and where do you see things going at this point?
Well, part of the big hurdle that's been over with now is we have those 10 turkey flocks have been depopulated, which is it's a big impact, and it's a sad loss for those farm families that are going through that. But that's part of the issue that has to take place to control this disease and make sure that it doesn't spread in this community where so much poultry is raised. Next steps are the disposing of those birds to make sure that's done in a safe way, that we won't spread the virus again and it's environmentally safe. And then also we'll be continuing to test commercial and private-owned personal flocks to make sure that there's no virus in any direction. And we've extended a zone out about 12.5 miles from where we found the disease to make sure that everything in a very large circle is free.
Now, let's say if I myself have a private flock or whatnot, what could I be looking for as far as signs are concerned?
Well, if you're concerned about the health of your birds, I think Dr. Custer was going to talk about that. But if you see anything unusual, know what's right for your birds. And if you see something unhealthy and unusual with how your bird appears or some of the behaviors that she's going to talk about, then make sure you call what we have, the Healthy Birds Hotline, and we can provide that number to you. And make sure that you call there, because we have state and federal veterinarians available. They're taking calls, and they're talking folks through finding out if there's something that's going wrong in their birds that warrants follow-up, and we'll do free testing after that.
Okay, and of course you're making a reference to Dr. Custer here, and Koren Custer with the United States Department of Agriculture. Talk about some of the things she was elaborating a little bit and what steps you need to do.
Sure, absolutely. So first I want to make sure that we differentiate commercial flocks and backyard poultry. So commercial flocks are those flocks that Denise mentioned that have been affected, that are associated with the industry. And then we have what we call backyard poultry, and those are your everyday chickens, ducks, turkeys, geese, peacocks, guinea fowl, anything that's part of a backyard flock in your regular person's just home. Okay, so those are two important points to differentiate. When it comes to avian influenza, there are a lot of different strains of it, and they cause a wide variety of symptoms. So rather than kind of going through all the different body systems that they affect, it's more important just to remember that sick birds right now need to be reported.
Okay, as far as we talked about how they can be reported and whatnot. Again, of course, and what to look for and whatnot. Where do we go from here?
Well, it's a long process, and we want to emphasize to the public right now that, it is a long process and that we need to maintain our vigilance, and that's why this is so important, that sick birds are dying birds, and if you go outside and you find a bunch of dead birds, you need to make sure that those are reported too. We've got sick and dying birds that should be reported. So just to make sure that we respond as quickly as we have this time, that's why that vigilance is so important, and it's a long process from here, and it's going to take a while to get everything situated.
Yes, and in fact, all week you, along with other federal, state, local emergency agencies have been pretty much camped out here at the Vincennes University campus here in Jasper. How have you seen the response from a local standpoint, Denise?
We have been overwhelmed by the enormous support and response that we've gotten from the local folks here at all levels, and from the supplying the human resources, the physical assistance showing up, as well as just the moral support and the gratitude that we're getting from the community. And it's just very moving to us, and we're very humbled and very appreciative of that.
Okay. Denise Derrer with the Department of Agriculture, or sorry, Koren Custer with the Department of Agriculture, and Denise Derrer with the State Board of Animal Health. Ladies, very much we thank you for joining us for the special edition of our Humane Society report on 18 WJTS. Now, of course, this is part of the Dubois County Humane Society's weekly report, which they not exactly endorse so forth, but we wanted to make it a part of their from a special standpoint of what has been going on with the flu and influenza and so forth here, and hopefully everything starts to get wrapped up, I'm sure. By real quickly, where do you feel things stand, by the way?
We feel like we're making good progress, but again, like Dr. Custer said, we've got a long way to go. We still have a lot of testing that needs to be done, and we're still going to be in the community for quite a while before we get this thing finished. Okay,
well, best of luck to the both of you. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be right back with Donna Hopkins is also going to join us with a few quick programs with the Humane Society right after this. Donna Hopkins now joins us this week. Donna wants to go over a quick couple of programs as far as your transfers and the calendar as well.
Yes, sir, that's right. We have 3 transports going up to Bloomington, which is Pets Alive, where we do the low-cost spay and neutering. The first one is on February 8th, then again on February 15th, and then again on Leap Year Day, February 29th. So we have 3. So please, if you have any animals, cats or dogs, that need to be spayed or neutered, please contact us at the Humane Society and we'll get you situated in there. The other thing I want to discuss is we still have calendars available. We also have a program going with the Timbers. Over in Huntingburg, a lot of their residents like the calendars. They got them last year, and they're asking about that. So if you'd like to donate $15 toward our 2016 calendars and say we'd like for it to go to the Timbers, they would greatly appreciate it, as would we.
Very good. Anything else real quickly before we wrap up? I
want to thank the ladies who talked with you earlier today. We were here to educate our community. There's been a lot of questions and concerns about all kinds of things. If you have any questions that we can direct you to find answers, we'll be glad to try to help you. But the main thing is go to Backyard Poultry or Biosecurity. Look on the internet and it'll give you a lot of answers. Well, thank you for kind of letting us know last night of your intentions and wanting to do this, and inviting Koren and Denise on today. That was fantastic. It's got to be obviously one of the more informative shows that we've ever done, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much for being here. All right, thanks a lot.